going to demonstrate for you what I term the glute slider series. For this series, what you're going to need is some kind of open floor space that's either smooth, or if you've got carpet, you're going to need to be able to have some kind of a floor slider. You'll also need a couple exercise bands, small loops, whether they're ones you've tied off from regular exercise banding or tubing, or loops that you've purchased already this way. That's what you're going to need for this series today. Comment on the sliders. I don't care what you use. This one I got from the home improvement stores, furniture slider, works fine. This one is a brand name one, costs about 3 times as much. The plastic may be a little higher quality, but all in all, they work pretty much the same. The intent of this series is to get you up off the floor, get you into a practical pattern to be able to start transitioning some of that glute strength and stability that we need to be able to transition things like running, squatting, lunging, hiking, rucking, whatever it may be that you're doing. So, start off with this. I'm going to show you the right position first. The working leg is going to actually be your stance leg, the one that is not on the slider. I'm going to have you shift as much of your weight as you can onto that stance leg. I want to figure about 95% of your weight over this foot. I'm looking for midline here to line up with about the middle of your foot. I want about 5% of your weight on the slider itself, and really I want you to get up on those toes. So this heel of this, what's going to be the moving leg, is really never going to touch the ground. You're then going to push back into the hip. So I'm bending this stance leg at the hip. I'm going to get some knee bend, but think more along the lines of when you initiate the lowering portion of like an RDL or a deadlift. We're not going knees forward, we're pushing back into the hip. If at any point during this series you're finding yourself feeling a lot more work in your quad as opposed to your glutes, that means you've probably gone knee forward a little bit more. Rethink your position, push back into the hip. From the side, what I'm talking about, I'm driving back into that hip. My knee bends, but it's not going forward, so I'm pushing back into the hip, maintaining good core position while I'm doing this as well between the hip and the shoulder. So from the front, what we're going to start with, no band, no resistance. We're going just get the pattern down. Load, 95, 5, up on the toes. I'm going to push and slide out to the side. I'm just balancing here. Hit about 5 reps out to the side. You're going to hit 5 at about a 45-degree angle. You hit 5 going straight back. Now when I'm going straight back like this, I am pushing back into my hip a little more. Picture almost like that sprinting stance that you would see. So from the side, as I get here, if I'm pushing to the side, I'm really not moving a whole lot. If I'm pushing 45, really not moving a whole lot. As I push back, I'm actually pushing my center of gravity back into this hip a little bit more to be able to get a little more recruitment of those muscles. So round 1, no resistance. What you're going to start with, 5, 5, 5 straight back. That's just to get a feel for the movement. You're going to repeat that on both sides. Once you've got that repeated on both sides, we're going to take an exercise band. We're going to put this around the knees. Get it just up above, just like this. That work now, this stance leg's getting pulled this direction by the band as you repeat that exact same pattern. It now has to stabilize harder. You should feel more work up here in your glute. Otherwise, setup is the exact same. Push back in the hip, 95, 5, 5 to the side. Five to the 45. Five straight back. You're going to get off the slider. You're going to repeat that on the other side. And we're going to go, once you've repeated 2 to 3 rounds, banded on left and right, right and left. You're going to go ahead. We're going to perform some clamshells, standing clamshells. I'm pushing back in the hips again. In. Let's do 10 of these right here. Keeping the foot flat. Rotation is coming from the hip and the ankle. My knee's going in. I'm not losing tension on the band. Hit 10 on one side, 10 on the other. We're going to do 10 side steps. As I sidestep, I'm not reaching with my foot here. I'm stepping, and I'm stepping. I'm keeping vertical, as vertical I can through the spine right here. I'm trying to drive with this leg when I push to the left. So my right hip and leg are working as I step to the left. Left hip and leg are working as I step to the right. We do 10 steps to each side. If you've got space and you want to go ahead and do 10 all the way, 10 all the way back, go for it. Hit 10 of those. And we're going to finish that up. 10 body weight squats. Still keeping the band here. Drive the knees out against the band. 10 right here. Between those three movements, the slider, band, the side step, the clamshell, and the body weight squat, that is your glute slider series. If you need additional resistance, once this becomes too easy, take a second lighter resistance band, and that goes around your ankles. This stays above your knees. That's how you progress.